This week on PodWatcher.
We've just opened up our phone line, and folks, the calls are pouring in.
Do you believe in witchcraft or tarot readings?
I don't hate banana slices on a sandwich, but there is a textural thing to them.
Sometimes they make your mouth a little itchy too.
What?
You're not just allergic to bananas?
Yeah, make your throat swell up and you can't breathe a little bit.
I kind of wanted to know what you wanted to be when you grow up.
Somebody calling us right now?
We're getting a phone call right now.
We gotta pick it up.
We got to pick this up. We have to pick this up. Welcome to PodWatcher, the official podcast of Watcher Entertainment. I'm Ryan Bergara.
I'm Shane Madej.
I'm Stephen Lim.
And this is a show where we chat about whatever's on our minds every week.
But this week is a special week because we've just opened up our phone line, and folks, the calls are pouring in. They're pouring in. And we're going to be taking some voicemails this week.
We are.
And emails.
And emails?
We love it for getting
Emails?
Well, email's not as exciting. I know email's newer. It's the new fad, and everyone's so excited about email. But me, I love phone.
Yeah.
I think phone is very fun. We got to bring phone back.
I don't like talking on the phone. I never have.
And then let's unpack that.
I just don't like talking on the phone.
It's an anxiety thing.
I used to
I
hate
think
it.
it does play into that, yes.
I used to hate it, and then right after college, I had a job where I just had to call people all the time,
Yeah.
and it just worked wonders for me. I think the further I get away from that job, though, the less I'm at, the less skilled I am at talking on the phone.
Well, nowadays, when you call up any business, you're not really talking to a person until you go through a gauntlet of robots and for like an hour. And by the time you get to the person, my brain is so scrambled, I don't even remember why I started calling them.
Well, that sounds like a problem because you should remember that.
Well, I mean, you call Spectrum. I remember I called Spectrum one time and they transferred me back and forth to the two same departments over and over again. And every time you get transferred, there's like a hold for like 10 to 15 minutes.
This is the most
I was going to
boomer
say this is
It was
a really
crazy, dude.
bad story.
It is the worst.
This is like that story about when you got chicken and
Which
you had to
one?
wait a long time.
Oh,
But
dude,
for
that
some
was also
reason
the
it was
worst.
a 25-minute story. It was more interminable than you actually waiting for chicken.
It was the worst. Both of them were the worst. But this is my experience every time I try to call any place.
But that's not the case here at Watcher.
What's the number again?
The number is 818-275-4585.
What was the little thing at the end?
Ask.
I look.
I look.
Ask ILUK.
Oh yeah, but I
Ask
meant to follow up on this because I Look is a company that does something.
Oh no.
Oh.
Is it like butt plugs? or-
Effortless booking and vetted beauty and hair salon.
That's
Well,
good. Cool.
Okay, all right.
If you have questions about them, you can ask us about it.
That's our aesthetic.
We'll
right?
have to do
Beauty.
our own research.
We're
on
big
it.
in the beauty
And there's
space.
also an I Look Pro, which is a booking software.
Well,
Cool.
we have nothing to do with either of those folks, but you can ask us about them.
Now, before we get to these voicemails, let's chit chat a little bit. A real heat wave going on here in Los Angeles, huh?
I'm loving it.
Are you?
I'm loving it. I've been waiting for this. It's been
It
cold
seems like
too
everybody
long.
else in the country has been hit with a nice bit of summer heat. And well, there's a thing in LA, they call it May Gray, which is weirdly every year in the springtime. It's not always May, but it's in that region. It'll be gray, overcast, not a lot of sun, a bit chilly.
I thought it was June gloom.
Well, there's May.
There's also June gloom, yeah.
And this year we also had Grapril. We had Grapril,
Grapril.
we had May
Grapril's
Gray, and then we
good.
had June gloom.
Oh, wow.
It was 3 months of just dour, awful weather. And now the sun's coming out.
It's nice, baby. I'm so used to it being gray, though, growing up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
It felt like I was back home.
Did you like that?
No. That's why I moved here. I like the summertime.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
April's pretty good.
I can't remember if I came up with that or someone else did.
They should call May Gray Macy Gray, and then we could just listen to her all month.
I wouldn't mind it.
Remember when she was singing on top of that balloon in Spider-Man 1? This isn't over, Spider-Man! And he's like flying off and is all fucked. His like
They should have
glider's
put
all
her
fucked
in
up.
every
That's the
Spider-Man
Goblin.
movie. She
She
should
is
have
good.
shown up in No Way Home.
It would have
really
been
good.
it would have been like a very Stanley joke, but if she was just in No Way Home and she was like,
She just came
I
out
got
of one
No
of the
Way Home
portals.
now. Looked into the camera.
She should just always say it's Spider-Man. In every movie she's in.
3 Spider-Mans.
What?
She's great. Anytime, what's her big single? I Try? Is that what it's called?
But I try to think about it in parentheses, but I joke.
Is it called I Choke?
That scene has one of my favorite lines of
It's called I
dialogue
Try.
in the entirety of film.
What's that?
The exchange between Green Goblin and Spider-Man.
What do they say?
When they first meet each other, it's a meet cute.
Yeah.
But the first time they see each other, Green Goblin catches Spider-Man's punch and goes, "Impressive!"
Yeah, that is cute.
And then right before that,
It's a beat cute.
it's a beat. There you go.
Yeah.
And right before that, Spider-Man's watching Green Goblin trying. The cops are coming over to Green Goblin, and he goes, "I surrender." And then Spider-Man goes, "Oh boy!" And then so good. Matt, just really quickly, I've just been thinking about the phone thing ever since you said it. Do you have trouble talking on the phone when it's just not like when it's just you, a friend?
Oh yeah, that's a big anxiety.
Oh, I hate that
I don't
so
want people
much.
to call me.
I don't like that
like,
so
people
much.
call me, I go, "What the fuck are you calling me for?"
Well, I mean, because remember when I talked about earlier in an earlier pod when I was saying that one-on-one conversations freak me out? The phone is the worst version of that because silence on a phone call is more deafening than silence in person, I think.
I've really thought about I've looked it up. You can buy a little device it's like $10 that plugs into your I think it's basically like a Bluetooth thing for any phone. So you can buy an old phone, like a corded phone.
Yeah.
And use it with your cell phone.
Oh.
And I've wanted to buy one of those and just start calling my friends every week for like a half hour to be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
I'm going to change my number if you do that.
I mean, I would never do it to you.
Thank God.
This is primarily like my friends in Chicago to just be like, what's going on? Because we've all talked about how fun that would be to just bring back.
I'm sure it would be.
Wait, do we have a phone here?
We do
Is it
have
like
a
a
phone
phone
at the
prop?
office.
Office? Has
Is
it
it a
ever
real
rung?
phone?
Yeah. Oh, it rings. Yeah.
No, there was a phone ringing this morning.
Yeah.
Scary.
One of the scariest sounds on earth is the phone ringing when I'm calling somebody.
What is
The suspense.
What is this
What the
fear? Do you not spend time on the phone as a kid?
I did, but I always struggled with it. I actually, it makes me think of a video I did back in the day at BuzzFeed. I made this video.
I used the phone for the first time.
No, actually, it was much sadder than that. It was a video called "What It's Like to Be in a Long Distance Relationship."
Oh.
And there was a quote from our friend Garrett Warner in there, and he was talking about how one of the toughest things about being in a long distance relationship is that their silence actually means something when you're in person. Like if you're driving with somebody and you're next to each other, but you're not talking, that silence actually means something because you're next to them. You could feel them. But when you're in a long distance relationship, silence over the phone it's just silence. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And though I felt that so much not in the context of long distance relationships, but more just like, I got to keep this conversation going because if there's any silence going at all on this phone call, it's going to be glaringly loud.
My freshman year of college, I was, my girlfriend and I went to separate colleges and it just slowly soured. And the calls, when the calls started to take a turn,
yeah,
it was really something to marvel at.
Was it one of those things where it was like, "What'd you do today?" It's like, I don't know. It's a normal day, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just got
I ate some
the
peaches.
conversation got more and more clipped, and it was.
Okay, I gotta interrupt here. I gotta speak up for the phone lover people out there.
Oh
There
my
there
God.
are
Shout out to the
people-
phone lovers out
all right.
there.
There are
Phone
people who are
lovers.
not like Ryan who do enjoy being on the
No,
phone.
I don't mind being on the phone.
It's
And
terrifying.
also
There are
had
a
a-
lot of us that
I
don't.
had a good experience in a long distance relationship with the phone where silence, like the fact that you're comfortable with that person meant that the silence was okay. And even on the phone. And that was kind of a comforting thing.
But
too.
it is different than being like if you and I were.
Of course it's different. I mean,
If
the
you
reason
and
why that didn't
Steven-
work out was mainly because like we were like there was no end to the distance. It was basically like this is going to be indefinite.
That's the thing.
It
You
wasn't
need the
the
end
silence
in
on the
sight.
phone.
Yeah,
it
you
was
need a
more so
goal.
that.
If you're gonna do a long distance relationship, this is my advice.
Oh, okay.
If you're gonna do a long distance relationship, you have to always know when the next time you're gonna see each other, even if it's a year.
But also, you need
You
to
have to know when it's going to be.
When is it going to change into being not long distance?
Exactly.
Some people
And
like it
that
though.
was-
Some
that
people
was
like
the issue.
the long distance. Some
Well,
people
'cause-
like not even knowing, like being in the same place.
Actually, all three of us have been
Yours
in a long
was-
distance.
yours was long
relationship at some
distance?
point.
I
guess.
mean, mine was in college.
yeah, mine was in college. It was only like
anything.
9 months for me.
Yeah.
There's hope out there though.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
you were in it for
doable.
like 5 years. or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yep. There is some. Okay, back to the phone thing though. There is something that is.
yeah.
that is
Yeah,
just-
yeah, moving along, moving along.
Hell of one to edit,
it's
man.
just nice about like if you can share a silence with somebody on the phone. That is actually a very comforting feeling.
Seems grim, but
It's like you can be on the phone for a long time, and then you'll just stop talking. They'll stop talking. You'll
Well,
start,
especially
like,
now with,
sit
you
there,
know,
lie there, and then you'll be
like a
fine.
Discord call.
AirPods.
Yeah, exactly.
You just fall asleep, or you could be like doing the dishes. You don't have to talk to that person.
No, I would. That's something I would do. Like I remember we would talk late at night, and I would like sometimes I would end up falling asleep because we would be like say goodnight, and then we would just fall asleep, and I would wake up and the phone was still going.
Yeah, that could, having been on the phone that much, like in college, I couldn't have been good for my brain to have a cell phone like pressed up against my head
Yeah,
for as long as I did.
I will say I don't often call my friends on the phone just for shits and gigs.
This is a question I have. This is a gamer thing. I never call my brother on the phone.
Yeah.
But we have a standing like every day. It's like an hour and a half where we're going to hop on Discord and we're going to play video games together. And if he's there, if I'm there, not all the time are we talking, but we're there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is with my brother as well.
That's how it is on Fortnite with my pals.
Yeah.
We-
Well, that sounds nice. Wouldn't know.
Discord is the new phone, though, right?
Discord is new
Discord
phone?
is the new phone.
It is.
No, I think it really is because it's everybody's, not everybody, but people are out there hopping in phone calls, hopping in
Yeah.
calls.
Discord is
How
new phone.
chatty are your rooms when you're playing games with your friends? Is it,
Well, a lot of the times we're playing different games.
like if you're playing Call of Duty or something.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about if you're playing Call of
So
Duty.
you're playing
like in,
Super
like,
Mario and they're playing Tetris?
I don't play that kind of stuff. I'm playing Elden Ring and they're playing
Scary, too
But if you're in
scary.
trios,
Elden Ring.
Too scary.
like how often are you talking about life when you're playing trios?
Oh, we're yucking it up. We're laughing. We're having until like someone
Okay.
goes like, "All right, focus up."
I see.
Everybody
So
shut the fuck up.
those are the games because. Sorry to bring it back. One Valorant
Valorant.
mentioned. Sorry,
Oh, boy.
one.
Here we
You
go.
Here
can't
we
be on the
go.
phone with somebody who isn't playing the game. There's too
No,
many
that is
comms
too
in the
much, yeah.
game.
Comms important.
That it's just
Communication's
really,
important.
It's impossible. You have to be queued together.
Yeah.
Cute? You
When
gotta
I
be cute
went
together?
Queued.
when I play Tarkov, I'll have to leave the group if
Okay,
other
yeah,
other
there are
people
some
aren't playing
games that-
Tarkov because we need.
I played
all
golf
focus.
with my brother on Sunday for my dad's birthday.
Oh, good for you.
And we probably said, I was in a cart with him for, I don't know, we play golf.
Do I have
You're in a
applause
cart
here?
for like 4 hours. Jake and I probably said 4 sentences to each
Well,
other.
Jake is a man of very few words.
But I also can be as well. I sometimes enjoy saying nothing for long periods of time.
I'm not too familiar with that.
Oh,
but
I am.
I guess I've seen phases of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this one meme that made me laugh the other day, and it was this picture, I think, of evil Patrick when he's like thumbing his fingers together
Yeah,
because he's
you gotta
happy.
love that guy.
And it was when the function is large enough that you could be silent and still and no one
Oh,
will notice. And no one will call you. And I was
Absolutely.
like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't say anything for like 4 hours. The only time we really talked was when I hit a golf ball directly into a tree and it almost killed me.
Whoa.
I
That's
was
up there with me hitting that goose.
Well, I was trying to get out of this like woody area, and I was like, "Do you think I could hit it around this tree?" And Jake was like, "You could try." And I was like, "Watch this!" And then I hit it, direct shot right into the tree, bounced back, hit our cart.
Oh. Is this voicemail music? And email music.
Jesus, yeah, it's everything. It's the mailbag. It's the PodWatcher.
Yeah, it's
Pod
the
listener mailbag.
PodWatcher.
Just let the whole thing run.
I
This is a
really
nice
like
song.
this.
All right.
Good song.
That's really lovely. Okay, so what are we going to start out with this week? Email? Voicemail?
Let's see. Let's see what we have.
While you're looking for it, could you play that song again?
Absolutely.
That was really
This is
nice.
the pod one. I made this song.
Did you make- I was gonna
No,
ask.
I didn't.
Oh.
Because I was going to
You
say
were
this
so
sounds
nice
like the
of it.
loading screen of like a Nintendo game,
yeah,
like an 8-bit.
an Echo, the dolphin. That's Sega.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, this is good. I don't even know what kind of game this would be. It feels like some sort of what would this be? Maybe like a swimming game.
A swimming
You
game.
keep going to water.
Yeah. Like Wave Runner 64, remember that game? Oh, beautiful.
Or it sounds like Earthbound or something.
Yeah, I can see Earthbound. Dig Dug, maybe?
Did you play Earthbound?
I've never played. I think I started it at some point because I heard it was really good, and then I
deep cut.
didn't get too far. I want to. It's supposed to be really good. You like? Have you played?
Supposedly.
That's
They're
what
on
it
the
is.
I've
third
never
one, right?
played it, but
Or
I
is it
just-
new.
Which is funny because
thinking
you're so
Homeworld.
Nest coded.
Yeah, that's why. That's
All
why
right, you
I
are
asked.
Nest coded.
Wait, what? No.
No, in Smash he plays Nest and he's so fucking annoying.
Who is Ness? Where's Ness
From Earthbound.
He's from Earthbound.
Oh.
This guy's shoving people off that edge with that fucking Pika firing me to death. It's just that.
Smash.
Nobody's gonna
I don't
understand
know.
this at all.
No, dude, the Smash heads will know.
There's like one out there.
Your Pika Thunder attack too, over and over again.
Pika! Okay.
That's a really
That's
good. I'm gonna
Pikachu.
get that when I want everybody to stop talking. It's an email. The first one's an email from Allie. Hi, Stephen, Ryan, and Shane. My name's Allie. I'm a 22-year-old practicing witch, born and raised outside of Boston.
Good place to be born
That's true.
for witches.
That's right. That's right.
My question for you guys is, do you believe in witchcraft or tarot readings? And would you let me do a reading for you guys? I have been known to be very good, but I think the ultimate test would be for Shane.
Oh my.
Thank you so much, and I'd be thrilled to hear your thoughts. With love,
Interesting.
Allie. Also,
Interesting.
P.S. I finally succeeded after 5 years getting my boyfriend to watch Ghost Files and Unsolved.
5 years.
Wow.
Damn.
A battle of attrition there. Just every day wearing on him a little bit more and more.
I mean, I believe in that witchcraft is a religion that people practice, you know, and it seems to be a fascinating religion and one of the more ones that I vibe with because it's very rooted in like nature and sort of organically spiritual things. I clearly don't know much about it from what I'm saying, but I vibe with it.
Everybody's entitled to believe what they want. I don't know enough about it, but I do love tarot card readings.
I think tarot card readings are very fascinating because, I don't have to state that I don't necessarily believe in anything supernatural or very, but I think tarot cards are interesting in that they sort of just open up avenues for you to meditate on things in your life and the way that,
Yeah, as it pertains to tarot cards themselves, it's kind of in the same vein sometimes to, I guess, how some people see astrology or just see signs in general. Do you see signs?
Do you see signs?
Do you see signs? Do you see miracles? Or do you believe that some people just get lucky?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
I like it certainly more than astrology. I think there's too much astrology out there, and people, and I don't want to become unpopular about my astrology beliefs, but I just get tired of it.
Do you know when people say everything happens for a reason? Do you believe that?
No.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah,
if something
I hear
happens
that
in
a
your
lot.
daily life, do you see like, oh, that's a sign? Do you see that? Do you ever say that to yourself? I used to not be that way, and I'm starting to become more like that.
I definitely. So
You're starting to become, you believe more in signs?
Yeah, just more like, maybe they're just...
I feel like the darker life gets, the more you start grabbing on to whatever you do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm definitely a spiritual person. So the question is, do you believe in witchcraft and/or tarot readings? I do believe that there is other things in the spiritual world that are possible and probably real.
yeah.
So I'm a believer
Yeah, that's
for
true.
sure. But I don't. How does tarot cards work? Do they like draw cards and that tells you your future? I'm not. actually
It's not
familiar.
necessarily the future so much as like, it's this guy. Oh, look who we got. It's this guy. Are you going through this right now?
Well,
see,
it's a
okay.
bit. Essentially, it's you come with a question. And there's multiple different readings, but the one that's most common is you come with a question, like what's on your mind.
With
right
a
now.
specific question.
Yeah.
I see.
I would love to get a reading. Oh my God.
And then you'll see like in response to that, like a past, present, and future, something like that.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it'll be
yes,
like
yes,
this
yes.
is the, and I would butcher it because I don't know any of them, but it's like this is the Knight of Cups.
Yeah.
And then they and that means something specifically for you. It's like,
Okay.
oh, you're probably gonna die.
When we did the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode in New
New
Orleans,
Orleans, we got a tarot card
we
reading.
filmed a tarot card reading. Did we cut out that entire? Because we went to like a museum,
No, we did. We cut most of it out. Yeah. I think we actually cut all of it out.
I think
now
we
that I think
did,
about
yeah.
it. But I remember
that whole location.
I remember we cut it all out, but I had to look through all the footage, obviously, for Unsolved because I was searching for ghosts. But in that particular one, I watched it just because I like tarot card readings for a couple reasons, but the main one is I find it to be very relaxing.
It is, yeah.
Like the sound of the cards flipping over.
There's some beautiful illustrations on them.
And then the soft spoken voices and then also like the beautiful illustrations I find it all very relaxing. It's the same. I find it kind of a similar experience to getting a massage almost.
Interesting.
It's like a massage for my brain.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah.
But I do like tarot cards and astrology all in the sense of like as a means for introspection. Like not as like, I don't know if I would take it as like a fact, but if it gets people to look inward and,
Yeah, that's I see the value in that. When astrology is more like put upon you as more of a science, that's when I'm like, hey man, leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it, I suppose. It sounds
like the same reason you hate personality tests.
Yeah, I guess so.
I've tried to make you take one or two.
I think
you're always resistant.
I am, yeah. Yeah.
And then it's the same thing. I'm not like trying to like pin you down as you're a AFDR. Like,
well, what can I say? I'm a Taurus, baby.
What the fuck did you just say to me, dude?
Have you either of all? Well, it sounds like you have, Ryan. Have you had tarot readings outside of that?
Ryan
experience?
and I. Oh no, we just had that one.
I've had two.
You had two,
including that.
When did you do another one?
I can't
without
believe you
me?
live in LA and you've only had two in your whole
I did
life.
one in Sedona when Mari and I went to Sedona, which is like it's like known as a very spiritual town. And so we got a tarot card reading. Actually, one of the things the tarot card reader said was, "You guys are going to get a dog."
Yeah, that's yeah.
No, here's the funny part. You guys are going to get a dog and you're going to love it. And I was like, I do want to get a dog. And then actually the other day I was thinking like, you know what? I do have a dog and I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
I love this dog so much.
Yeah, Nostradamus over there.
I know. I was like, how could she have seen that coming? I can't believe that.
Is that something that has 50-50 odds? Getting a dog and loving it? That's got to be, right?
I mean, there were certainly days
like
where I was like,
half of households in America have a dog.
That's true.
I think it's like a 25% shot that you will both get a dog and like it.
You know what? You know what though?
The rehome rate's probably pretty high on.
You know what though? If I were trying to convince you that I was reading the fates and all that,
yeah,
if I spend 2 minutes with you and Mari, I'd be like, yeah, they're getting a dog. They're getting a dog.
But if she had been like, I see you love popcorn, I would have been like, oh, I'm listening. Because that would have been like, how does she know that? That's incredible.
Yeah.
But then again, I also believe in psychics too. So
yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Because there were some psychics that were Unsolved. For the Hannah Williams episode of Unsolved, that psychic told me some crazy shit.
Here's the thing about psychics.
He told me to tell my brother good luck, that my grandpa said good luck on your board exams.
Yeah.
Because that was actually one of the last things I talked to my grandpa about before he died. And Jake, my brother, was not there at his bedside because he was working. And then he told, when he did pass away, this was very close to that event, the psychic said that he was reaching out to my grandpa and he told me to tell Jake.
See, I can't
to do well in the board exams.
I can't take,
and that was right before it.
I take this all with a grain of salt because you told that story about that hawk at medieval times flying into the wall and you said it died. And it didn't. It just flapped away and they took it off.
It certainly died.
You're a big fisher.
That hawk definitely died later.
Hawk didn't die.
Do you think that hawk was okay? It flew into a wall and fell.
You told the story. You made it sound like it exploded.
It didn't explode. It fell. It hit the wall.
You were like, they brought out a little ambulance.
It fell 20 feet. And then it just kind of was flapping on the ground.
It didn't fall 20 feet. It hit the wall like 2 feet above the ground.
It did not hit the wall 2 feet above the ground.
And it like slowed and hit it.
We're going to have to pull everyone that was there.
The fact that
we'll pull everybody.
In your travels, have you ever encountered witchcraft or the use thereof?
We went to Salem.
We went to Salem.
But I don't know if that's like witchcraft in a biblical sense where people were getting persecuted.
Yeah, but not like a part of a kind of an exercise or I don't want to use the wrong.
I don't think so, really. No, it hasn't come up that much.
No, it hasn't really. I'm thinking
it's extremely fascinating.
It is.
I will say.
Yeah,
no, it hasn't. We haven't really delved into it too much.
I did a video for our show where we went and met some wonderful witches, and their main thing was basically it's about pushing the hands of fate, and they suggested that everybody's on like a path of least resistance. Like I'm probably here because I got the call. I didn't have a job at the time. We've all worked together, and so
this is fascinating.
It seemed extremely natural for me to just like take this job, right? But in your life, you will oftentimes follow a groove that's either predestined or just the path of least resistance, right? And so their whole thing was about, it's not necessarily about being kind of mystical or magical. It's more intentionally redirecting
into some resistance
or moving in, basically saying, oh, well, I'm not on the path of least resistance to become a movie star.
Yeah.
So if I want to do that, I really have to make the effort, and they're making the effort in a different way.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It's extremely cool, and it really kind of changed my brain about the whole thing.
It's interesting, though. I mean, I guess the number one reason why we haven't really talked about witchcraft is just because it's a religion, and I want to be respectful. And
well, that's the thing, is like witchcraft and like the Wicca, they're not mutually exclusive. That's what I learned.
Oh, interesting.
I see.
Yeah.
Least resistance is interesting. I wish that was on the path of least resistance. I talk about this with my therapist all the time, where it's why I'm stressed out all the time, because I think I'm not capable of doing things or putting myself in certain stressful situations. And he often points out that I've done nothing but put myself in stressful situations and situations of high risk. And he's right. Maybe I should get more. Wait, they witchcraft is saying that you do want to be in the path of least resistance, or
that you naturally are.
Tend to.
That you naturally are. Like, people will be at jobs for too long, and they'll like take promotions that they don't necessarily want, but because it's like easy, and like a lot of my work has come from just people calling me and being like, oh yeah, it's become very organic. But to do other things, I would really have to put in effort, and the effort that they're putting in is a lot of that manifesting of it and intentionally doing practices that change.
I love that.
And basically ask the hands of fate to re-guide your direction.
The hands of fate.
The witches that I met were incredible, and we should get one of them on.
We'll get a witch on the show.
That'd be nice.
That'd be fun.
We would love it.
Yeah. Could Allie do a tarot reading over Zoom or something? Is that a thing they do?
I think that's true. I think that's possible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They do remote readings for other like psychics and stuff like that.
Well, this is
because I would do it.
They certainly figured out how to do it.
Yeah, they got it. They were like, oh, it seems like, Zoom just released an update that allows us in 2020.
It's also easier if you're doing a psychic reading over Zoom, because it's like Google's now right in front of you.
Yeah,
You're like,
you just see them like looking at their other screen.
let me think about that really quickly. His fingers are just going ablazing.
I actually think I see that.
It says you were born here in Schaumburg. How did I know that? That's crazy.
The ultimate test being Shane is kind of what Allie is saying here, but actually the ultimate test would be somebody in our office who doesn't have a public facing persona.
Yeah,
because you have so much of your life online that it would be like very easy. And this person knows the show, knows you.
They'd just be reading from one of the. Have you ever? A very fascinating thing about
AI
being like mildly well known is that there's like all of these. I assume like AI generated articles.
Yeah.
That'll be like, Shane Madej is graduated high school in like all the facts will be wrong. It'll say like graduated high school in 1999, which is there's a lot of them that say that for some reason. And then it'll be like, he lives with his beautiful wife. He is known for his slender body and beautiful brown eyes.
Slender body.
There's some of them that are weirdly like physically descriptive.
They're probably things that Ryan has joked about over the years that have been pulled into the ether.
I should just start saying crazy shit to see if AI will pick it up and put it in your
I saw a thing
articles.
over the weekend that was talking about Natalie Portman, because I don't know, she was photographed by the paparazzi like smoking a cigarette outside of a and the AI article wrote something like, Natalie is no stranger to drugs, having admitted in college that she did cocaine almost daily. Which is just from the Lonely Island song, when she was like, when I was at Harvard, I did coke every day.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll see if you can say a bunch of stuff on the podcast, and we'll see if we can feed it into the AI.
Well, honestly, like going back to like it being like a hot summer day, I went to a pool party with Shane once, and I was surprised to see that he has 3 nipples. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't tell a lot of people about that, but
And
Also,
one of them
Shane,
is
didn't you-
really
and
low.
one of them's really low and very
It's
big.
like right above his belly button,
And
which,
it's
which makes it
huge.
even more confusing.
It's huge.
It's like, is that a huge belly button or is
Yeah.
that a nipple separate from a belly button?
But with
that
the-
happens
with
to be
the-
close together.
the belly button, the big one, and then my two normal nipples.
That's
it looks
right.
like a happy face.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Like a little face going, ooh.
He doesn't have a happy trail. He has a happy
A little
trail, but it's
face.
with little cobblestones on it. One
nipple
big
nose
nipple
in the
and
middle,
what nipple nose?
yeah, old nipple nose Madej.
It's crazy, dude.
Cool. Anyway, yeah, we'll do a tarot reading sometime. That'd be fun.
Thanks so much, Allie.
Yeah, thank you, Allie.
Thanks for your email.
And congrats on getting your boyfriend to finally watch our show.
I hope you unchain him soon. He's locked up in shackles.
I guess it makes sense with the thesis of witchcraft, though, to spend 5 years getting your boyfriend to watch
Oh
the show.
yeah.
Yeah,
Path
Allie really
of
pushed the
most
hands of
resistance.
fate on that one.
Just a note, if we've said anything ignorant about the world of witchcraft, let us know.
Yeah,
We're
please,
fascinated by it.
educate
We'd like
us.
to know more. So don't worry.
Now we have a voicemail.
Oh, this is so exciting. This is our second voicemail after the one we got last week from a guy who honestly seemed pretty important. Seemed like a pretty important guy.
Guy who sounded suspiciously like Matt Rial. But
I didn't pick up any Matt Rial.
You kept saying that, and I'm going to be honest. I re-listened to the phone call, and I was like, "This actually doesn't really sound like
No,
me."
it really doesn't.
All right, this next one comes from Juan. Let's listen.
Good afternoon, PodWatcher people. Shane, Ryan, Steven. My name is Juan Aguilar, based off of LA here, Inglewood.
Nice.
I just wanted to ask a quick question for the podcast. So I kind of wanted to know, what was your guys' response to the question of what you wanted to be when you grow up? I guess between the ages from elementary to high school. I'm very curious to find out. And as a secondary question as well, I would also like to know, what is your best top tier homemade sandwich? What ingredients would you
Oh,
share
homemade
on your best
sandwich.
homemade
Yeah,
sandwich?
now Steven's
Thank you so much, and I
activated.
love what you guys do.
That's really
Have a great
good.
day.
Wow.
Thanks, Juan.
Thank you, Juan.
So two-parter.
Oh, man.
Two-parter.
Maybe lead in this way. My name is Steven. My favorite sandwich is this. And when I grew up, I wanted
That's
to
nice.
Is it like confessional?
Yeah, it's like your intro, dude.
Icebreaker.
My name is Steven. My favorite sandwich. Man, it's going to be so basic.
There's
I
nothing
gotta
wrong
say
with
it.
a basic sandwich if
I
it's
gotta
made
say
well.
A PB&J.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
sure.
No.
And I'm on that PB&J train right now. I've been making them almost every day at home.
What are we talking? Creamy peanut butter or a crunchy? That's the question.
I've been doing crunchy.
I like.
And I've been doing one slice folded.
Of jelly?
No, one slice.
Oh, so it's a half
Jelly?
a Sammy.
Peanut butter, fold, snack. Yum.
Now I have a question because
No, let's not get too bugged out about
No.
the sandwich.
No. And I like the sandwich talk. We haven't talked about sandwiches on this
That's
show.
true, I guess. Yeah. Do whatever you want.
Now,
It's your show.
I traditionally, growing up on my PB&Js, had a specific kind of jelly.
Oh.
And
yeah.
I always thought it was the norm, but then other people have other ones. So what is your traditional jelly?
Well, I think growing up I think it was called Concord.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah,
That's
Concord.
like
But
the,
Welch's?
But grape is the point.
Grape.
Concord.
Oh, flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
A grape is
Grape.
the norm, right?
It is norm. And
I feel like some people would be like, I always had strawberry.
I had strawberry.
What do you But
But honestly, I was pretty indifferent when it came to the jelly. I didn't care.
it's the sweetness is
it
doing
really
the
is
same thing.
They're all, they all taste the same.
I was like, whatever jelly my mom has in the fridge, I'm going to use that.
What kind of bread?
I prefer white bread, but I've been doing wheat bread, cutting back for the
Yeah, you gotta keep it real.
wedding coming up.
Does that actually make that much of a difference, the white versus wheat?
Mentally.
It's gotta.
Oh, it does.
I think
for
white
sure.
bread has
Mentally,
a lot
it
more.
does. Sure.
100%
I
sure.
think white bread has a lot more sugar in it.
Is that what it is?
It's also just made of completely unusable nutrients.
Microplastics.
There's
Oh.
a charm to it for sure.
Interesting.
But it
You ever
tastes
have
so good.
You ever have a fried bologna sandwich?
Yeah. I
Oh, wait
Oh,
a
my
second. Are you frying bologna? Are you frying? Yes. You're
Yeah,
frying
you
bologna.
fry bologna and then you put it. It's like great on white bread.
Huh.
I have to
No, I
say,
haven't.
I'm never as excited for a hot deli sandwich as I am for a cold one. It's just,
Um,
that's
I'm
just
with you on that.
I agree with you on that,
I think that's like,
except for like a really good Reuben.
yeah, but I almost don't even consider, I guess it is the prototypical deli sandwich.
You would.
But
Yeah.
I'm talking more like when people get like an Italian sub like toasted.
Oh, I hate
What's
toasted
going on with
subs.
that?
I think they're reprehensible
What
and
the fuck is that?
disgusting.
I don't understand that at all.
Quiznos,
Okay.
Hot Belly. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
dude, I don't
Chill.
want to have a hot salami in my mouth.
What? No.
It's disgusting.
Oh my God.
Like not hot in the sense of like, is that spicy? More like temperature hot. Like, oh, this is great. You put my Italian sub in the microwave.
And
I
they
can't wait to
also,
put
like-
this soggy
They
sub
also
in my
like
mouth.
put fucking. They'll put that thing on the toaster, and do they put the lettuce on beforehand?
They
That's it.
do
The lettuce is like
sometimes.
hot sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't
What's
want
wrong with
hot
this?
lettuce, you fucking idiot.
No,
That's like when
it's-
people put
Give me cold lettuce on here at
people eat
least.
leftover
Good. Lettuce
Chipotle.
cold.
They actually microwave their Chipotle, and then their guacamole's hot. What's
That's
going on
disgusting.
there?
That's a bit
fucked up.
weird. That's a bit weird. But you get the crunch then when you toast the bread.
I don't give a
What if
shit.
your
I
ingredients
think
aren't
toasted
crunchy?
sandwich- Toasted sandwich is fine.
Yeah.
Eh,
Thank you,
not
man.
for
It's
me.
a fad.
It's not for me.
It's a fad, and
Hey,
it's
look,
gonna.
It's a fad that they have to build in a $5,000 toaster just to do it. So
Good on you. If
that
you
ain't
want
no fad.
I do love
It's an
the. I
investment.
do love the conveyor belt toaster. I think that's pretty cool.
What about like when they like
Where's
a
the-
panini?
what's the
You
Isn't
like
that
a
what you're
panini?
talking about? You said they had to build a $5,000 toaster. You're
I'm
talking
imagining. I'm
talking about the
thinking about
Subway ones where they
Subway.
show it
They
in.
shove it in there.
about, huh?
I don't know the Quiznos one, but in
What?
Subway they shove it in the toaster.
What do you, no, I'm talking about the one. I think it's Quiznos where it's like a little chain link conveyor belt that they put it on, and it goes through a bit like a little journey.
That's
Quiznos
cool.
still
A toasting
open? They
journey.
still
That's
exist.
cool.
Yeah, it's like how they
Also
build, how
cool.
they build cars,
Yeah,
which is kind of adequate because that's kind
that's
of how
not
it
how I
tastes.
want my. That's how it tastes like cars.
It tastes like fucking. Like they made this on an assembly line in
Is
a
this a
factory.
sandwich or a car? That I mean.
Yeah, that's a new show right there. Should we keep moving on here?
What was your
No, I
sandwich?
wanted.
Sidetracked?
No, I wanted. Well,
Well,
we-
say your shit then. Say what?
well,
your-
Steven didn't finish saying his shit.
Oh, I
yeah,
said it.
yeah, he did.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, you're right. You're
Oh,
We
right.
can
well,
split, we can
well,
split those
well.
up if that's better. To
Should we talk sandwiches
Yeah,
All right,
first?
we'll do sandwiches
Okay.
first.
I'll
let's
save
do
that one.
Okay,
This
what's
is.
that?
I love this. I
What-
love talking
what's your
about sandwiches. Now, this is also gonna sound very basic,
We
but
are going to get to that question right after this.
fine.
I'm just saying, we're not saving it for another episode. We're
I
talking about
know.
it.
Shane, listeners, you can't see this, but there was a fire in Shane's
Yeah,
eyes
dude.
when he said that he got cut off there from the sandwich talking. He looked like he was going to fucking kill Matt Rio.
You all said, hey, we want more structure on this show.
He looked shocked.
Keep us focused.
This is also going to sound basic, but if I'm at home, this is what I'll do. I would toast the bread a little bit.
Okay.
I like a little toast. I like the.
You just went on a
Listen-
tirade about toasted
Listen to
subs.
me. No. I went on it. Listen to me. I went on a tirade about toasted subs, where everything's hot.
Yes, I don't like that.
When it comes to a sandwich, I like the bread a little bit toasted. So I'll put the bread in on its own, toast it, take it out. I'll put on some nice heaps of thinly sliced cold
I like
turkey
that.
breast.
That's a good metric. Heaps.
Some ice cold lettuce on
Okay.
top of that.
Nice. What kind of lettuce we talking? Romaine?
Probably like iceberg or romaine.
Iceberg,
Yeah,
yeah.
depending on what I got.
I see people
Nutritional.
putting baby spinach on this shit.
I like baby spinach,
Oh,
but it
baby
doesn't
spinach,
give you
yeah.
that crunch.
It doesn't give you the crunch. That's where I'm out on no crunch.
Iceberg is the white bread of lettuce, by the way.
Yeah, which
It is, it really
with
is, yeah.
romaine, if you get a cold romaine, that's going to give you a similar with a little more flavor to it. But I also don't like. People are like iceberg lettuce. It's like taking a bite of like ice cold water. Yeah, it's very refreshing.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
yeah. Who gives a shit?
It's zero
What am I
calorie.
looking for in my lettuce?
Well, 0 calorie crunch.
Yeah, zero ZCC.
Is it
Yeah.
zero
I don't think
calories?
it's zero.
No, it's not.
Whatever.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be
It's
close to
It's
zero.
essentially.
Okay, fair
Like
enough.
1 calorie.
What's the
for an
thing?
iceberg?
So what's celery all about?
I hate celery.
I know
dude.
you hate celery. I
fucking
love
hate it.
celery.
Why do you
One
eat celery?
calorie.
What calorie is celery?
Wait, how
One
many
One calorie
grams?
per leaf.
One
Per-
calorie
overlay,
per
okay.
leaf
for iceberg lettuce. Damn, dude.
So I'll put some lettuce. I'd like some sliced tomatoes on there. Again, very cold, very fresh.
yeah.
Maybe some mayo.
This ain't no basic sandwich. You're
It's a
pulling the knife out.
Light mayo or heavy?
You're toasting bread.
medium mayo.
Medium mayo.
I love mayonnaise. Sue me.
I could have
I
said that
love
by
mayo
looking at
too.
you.
What kind of mayo you using?
If I saw you in a line of like that guy loves
I
mayonnaise.
like a classic like
Guaranteed.
Hellman's, or there's one that I got recently called Duke's. Duke's mayonnaise.
That's what I was waiting for.
What'd you fucking say?
The secondary brand mayo that he was going to call out.
Dude, Duke's is really
good.
normal.
I know, but I was just waiting for the second.
And by the way, you guys got fucking roasted on that Fisherman's Friend episode. You did.
No, we did.
If you look in the comments, everyone's like, "This is the most common cough drop in the world," and you guys are idiots.
Hey, man, I've
this
never
happens
seen it.
so many times
Never
on this
seen it.
podcast.
Never seen it.
I mentioned
Never
something.
seen it.
You guys fucking gaslight me, and then the episode comes out 2 weeks later, and everyone in the comments is like, "Shane's in the right here," and they're being so mean to him.
Well, that's because it's your legion of Shaniacs that are coming in.
No, it's not. It's
To be
people
fair,
who look.
no. The Bigfoot one, that one was ridiculous.
What's the Bigfoot one?
The one where you were arguing about like he can't be in the water. Like you
Oh
were
no,
just
I was in the right on that one too.
no.
Wait,
That
I don't remember
that
this
was
one.
the first episode I edited.
Oh God.
And I was like, this is like an unfun level of arguing.
I don't even remember it. What happened?
Well, because
you guys got
heated.
mad at
we
me
were
for-
like, let's think of an idea of what could happen to Bigfoot, and he was like, "There's not. I'm not in the scientific community. I can't think of anything."
Oh yeah, dude.
we don't need to
that was
relitigate.
absolutely insane, man.
You guys were crazy at that one. But sandwich. So what I'm putting forth here is just a classic turkey sandwich. Fresh, cold ingredients, nice
Yeah.
toasted bread,
Sounds delicious.
delicious.
That does sound good.
I want one right now.
really nice.
What was the bread type?
Generally like just a multi-grain.
If it's toasted, it don't even matter.
I
Honestly,
could go for a nice slice of sourdough. I could go for white bread even. I don't buy white bread, but I would go for it.
Juan is pacing the room right now, just like, what did you want to be when you were
Don't worry, Juan. We'll
one
get
last
to
thing
it.
about toasted subs too.
Oh, let me hear it.
Just my number one problem with them is it robs me of one of the great joys in life, which is a diversity of temperatures and textures.
That's why I like the toasted bread, but
Yeah,
nice,
exactly.
fresh, cold.
A texture that's
middle.
crunchy, a hot bread, but then cold lettuce.
Mm.
It's like why I like drinking a beer in a hot tub, or why I like having a hot coffee on a snowy day.
Yeah.
The diversity of like it's cold outside, but I'm putting hot liquid in me.
Yeah.
It's all samey. If you put like everything
You gotta
in a
confuse
toasted.
your brain a
Well,
little
Brian,
bit.
I don't want my toasted. I don't want to
Wait,
eat a
wait.
sub that feels like I'm eating an eagle.
Wait. Do you shake your salads?
I do shake my salad.
Yeah, same thing.
No, it's not.
No, it's not the same
It is
thing.
the same thing.
It would be the same thing.
Shaking a salad is not the same
It
as
would be-
eating a toasted sub.
Yeah,
It's the same
It would be the same thing if I put that salad in the
You're like-
microwave.
You're like, it's all the same.
You're on notice.
You're putting
You're on
putting all the
notice.
That's
ingredients.
crazy.
No, that's
No, here's why you're wrong. Because I shake a salad together, it still has the crunch because of the different kinds of lettuce inside. And
But now you're creating one experience for your mouth, only one. Whereas if you
No,
don't
there's
shake
still
it,
crunch.
Hey,
There's still some crunch.
newsflash: salads aren't sandwiches.
that's true.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
All right.
That's true.
I don't know why I'm getting so mad about this.
Also, like, usually a salad like that will include some sort of chicken, and I actually like when the chicken's hot, and that way the salad's still cold.
But see what
and
I
then
mean?
have the hot chicken.
You now have hot chicken, cold salad. It's all now one lukewarm temperature. If you
it's
shake
not
it.
going to make the salad hot.
It
like,
will.
by shaking it. That's crazy.
Makes the salad hot.
That's fucking insane.
I'd like to throw out one more. I just have to tip my hat. This is not a sandwich I would make at home, but I think on a hot day there is nothing finer than a BLT and Arnold Palmer.
Oh.
That's or even a turkey club. That's just great living. I just love turkey, and I love lettuce.
Dude,
and
I love a BLT.
I didn't know how much
you
I'm
love
with
turkey.
you on that.
Yeah.
BLT gives BDG, dude. Or
BDE. Brian David Gilbert.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It gives BDE. Is what I
He
meant to
burst
say.
through the door.
Did someone say my name?
Like Happy Gilmore in Subway commercials, dude.
Do you think he ever orders a BLT to the waiter and talks in the third person and he says, "Oh, it's going to be a BLT for BDG."
He's got it, dude? I would do it all the time.
Brian, if you haven't done that, you should.
That's a free one. Take that one on the house. What is my favorite sandwich? Are you done with your sandwich?
Yes, and I'm very excited to hear what you're going to say.
It's pretty basic.
I'm
as well.
excited.
It's
Well,
just-
look, I think we've learned that basic sandwiches that's a thrill.
They're the best. That's why they're
I
basic.
would say it's a standard issue PBJ, but it isn't. I like the triple decker, and every time I make the
Whoa.
sandwich,
No.
I do get very, very happy.
You
I'll-
evil person.
I do peanut butter and jelly on the bottom, and on the top deck, I got peanut butter and honey and banana slices.
Whoa,
Oh, no.
and banana
I'm
slices.
going
That's not where I thought
crazy.
you were going. I thought you were going Big Mac style, like bun. So no,
It is bun.
It's three
Wait,
breads.
Three
Slices.
breads.
Three breads.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is that.
Yeah, because it's a triple decker. But it gives me
That's
so much
crazy.
flavor. I don't do it often, but every time I have, it's so good and I'm so stoked.
Peanut butter and honey is a nice. That's a nice
peanut butter,
little treat.
honey, and banana slices. Now you're cooking. Now you're
I've
cooking
never.
with grease.
I don't hate banana slices on a sandwich, but there is a textural thing to them that is
I
a
could
little.
see that.
Sometimes they're just a little slimy.
Sometimes they make your mouth a little itchy too.
and I got no issues with bananas.
You're not just
Yeah.
allergic to bananas.
I
Yeah,
think
it sounds
honestly,
like-
honestly,
let's backtrack there.
No.
Yeah, make your throat swell up and you can't breathe a little bit.
No, but it gives my mouth a little itchy sometimes.
You're allergic.
My eyes get a little puffy. I love those
You
bananas.
gotta
honestly,
stick a straw in your throat like an
fight through
anaconda.
it. I fight through it, dude. I love banana slices enough. Also, it's like sometimes fruit does weird things to me. Like apple makes me poop.
Well,
That's probably just the
that's
fiber.
all food.
That's the fiber, probably.
Food makes you poop.
No, but apple especially makes me. Apple is actually worse for me than coffee. Back when I used to drink
doesn't
coffee.
apple got caffeine?
No.
Does apple got caffeine?
I think apples actually are a natural kind of
Does apple got caffeine?
what the fuck do you call it when it's like
Apple,
it,
no
it
caffeine.
promotes?
I'm
bowel
so
movement?
glad I didn't ask that question. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Actually,
shit.
Matt pulled it up, and it shows how much caffeine is
It
in
says
an
a
apple.
lot.
0 milligrams.
Yeah, does an apple have? I just kind of glossed over that because I
I
was
appreciate it. I don't want
thought
to
you were
be one of
making a
those guys
joke
where
at
people are like, oh, bro, you stupid idiot.
He's the one guy says the craziest thing who has an actual computer in front of him. He could Google this, but he was like, "Let's get this
You could
thought
have
out
just
there."
silently Googled it.
Yeah, you could have. It's like, nah, I got to get this out and test
But then
it.
we would have seen the screen of Matt
Do
on
apple
Google.
have caffeine?
Does spider have puss puss?
I'll keep it in because it's funny, but I for some reason, some point, someone was like, "Oh yeah, eating an apple will keep you as awake as drinking a cup of coffee," and maybe that's why I got
that's
the
probably
wires
it.
crossed.
Crazy, dude.
And as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, "This is really
Oh,
dumb."
no.
Who fucking told you that, Johnny Appleseed?
But I'm putting it in because I'm proud of my intelligence and I'm not worried about it.
No, look, we all say silly things.
No, I say silly things all the time.
You do.
I do.
We were recording something like a week ago, and I said something very dumb, and I can't remember what it was. But
That's me every day, brother. It's me every day.
Every moment.
um,
Every thought.
Maybe I'm not as allergic to coffee anymore too, or caffeine, because I had a Coke Zero on this show.
yeah,
last episode.
last week.
That's got caffeine
or
in it.
whenever this episode airs, and that had caffeine, and I was fine.
Yeah,
That was
maybe
last week's
I want to
episode.
do this thing where I just drink coffee, like a normal cup of coffee, and see what happens.
You know what? How about this?
Oh,
I need your consent though.
I'll do it on
Sure.
the show.
But I'll spike your drinks every day, and
Okay.
sometimes they will be.
All right.
Sometimes
Oh,
they will be
that went
caffeinated, and
somewhere.
sometimes they won't.
we'll give them a blind.
placebo effect.
Yes,
placebo,
and we'll see
yeah.
how you feel based on what's going on.
I see.
Well, you have to make sure I'm not shooting anything after the podcast because that might
That's fine.
because I need to block out the calendar. Like this is the day when I might be sick.
But maybe you don't. That's the thing. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe if you thought that you were going to get sick, you would be sick.
But what if I get sick and we have to shoot something?
Well, then we've confirmed it.
Okay, how about that? Next
All right,
podcast, Steven, you make a cup of coffee. You don't tell me if it's decaf or normal.
No. I'll just add caffeine to your to your drinks.
How are you going to add caffeine?
Yeah, I was about to say, what do
Are
you
you
buy?
gonna
You're
get
gonna buy
like
it and
5 hour
I'm
energy?
gonna buy apple slices slowly.
Keep them in the coffee. Why are there a bunch of apple slices in my coffee?
Man, it's like, no, you got to leave it in for 5 minutes, otherwise it won't fully get out there.
Come on.
But yeah, triple decker sandwich is my triple decker PBJ / peanut butter and honey.
Ryan, you asked this earlier, but the PB,
It's crunchy for
You're
sure.
going crunchy, full crunch.
It has to be an extra crunchy because I like I said, I like the diversity of textures. I got the slimy bananas, but then I also got the stickiness of the honey, and then I got the crunch of the
But
peanut butter.
what if that
crunch.
honey slips over the edge of the sandwich just a bit and gets on your hands?
I'm very careful to do a kind of serpentine pattern with the honey, but it's never getting close to the edge, so I don't have any slippage on my hands. Because as you know, I hate my hands getting sticky.
Yeah, you don't like that one bit.
I really don't like it. I kind of freak out.
And you can't
You do.
wash them.
I do have to wash them immediately, but only the stickiness. The stickiness gets to me.
I gotta say that you're an insane person for making a triple decker at home, though. That's absurd. That's too much bread.
That's innovation that excites, buddy.
I recently, Sarah and I got a massage, and
Which you don't like typically.
I don't know that I don't like them. I just have not had many in my life. The first massage I ever had in my life was when you and I went for a
And
work
Steven.
outing at BuzzFeed. Steven didn't go.
I thought Steven was there.
He bailed. I thought you.
I was not there.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember getting a massage.
It
with
was
you
the
guys.
three of us, and then Steven was like, I can't make it.
Well,
and then you and me just went to a massage school.
Well, BuzzFeed gave us a certain amount of money to do a group outing, and our team was only 3 people big. And at the time, I think I was the manager of that team.
Yeah.
And so I had like this ridiculously small budget, and I found a Groupon that was like 2 massages for like $40 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was
it
like,
was certainly a discount massage.
And then we went there, and it turns out it wasn't actually an actual place of where you would get massages. It was a massage school. And
Yeah.
it was the students. We were basically like cadavers.
Yeah.
Like cadavers for people. And I just remember.
And to be clear, it wasn't a building that was established as a massage school.
wasn't.
It looked like that scene in Cloverfield when they walk into a department store and it's been set up as a triage unit.
It looked like a Civil War hospital.
There were just
that they had set up with sheets everywhere.
sheets hanging to make rooms, and the carpet was. I don't know if everyone had that like the grade school that I went to. The carpet, I think, because kids probably throw up and they don't want like thick. So it was that very rough, short carpet.
Yeah, it looked like they had just liquidated like an accounting firm, and then they
Yes.
just put these curtains and beds in there.
And when I walked into my little sheet room, they didn't have a table. That he said, just lay on the floor. Take your shirt off and lay on the floor.
way.
What?
So my ribs were just like pressed against this like sandpapery carpet, and I had like scrapes on my body.
Oh
afterwards.
my gosh.
No, dude, I was laying on like a desk essentially.
Yeah.
How is
And
this
there
real?
was no like, you know, the toilet bowl thing you stick your head in when you get a massage.
Yeah.
There was none of that.
There
He
was
was
none of
just
that.
like lean your head off the table.
And there was a dog walking. There was a dog running around
There
and
was.
licking. It started licking my feet.
It licked my feet too.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of the massage, and all of a sudden I just feel this cold sensation on my feet, and I was like, "Whoa, what's
Yeah.
that?" And he was like, "Don't worry, that's just Reggie."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who's Reggie?" And he's like, "That's my dog." And I was like, I kind of want to open my eyes to see if this is actually a dog or if this guy's just licking my feet.
Oh my goodness.
It was crazy, dude.
I have never been more glad that fate brought me away from a situation than.
Yeah, Steven, you missed out, dude. We had extra $30 on the Groupon.
That's pretty weird. But I bring this up because recently we did, I don't know how we got roped into this, but it was called a honey massage.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know about this.
Like actual
I
honey?
thought it was like, well, at first when I agreed to it, I thought it was like, you're honeys.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's the two of you. You get a massage together. And then I found out it actually incorporated honey into the massage.
God.
That sounds awful.
And
They Winnie the Pooh'd your ass.
and
dude.
I was like, is it like actual honey? And Sarah was like, no, I think like the stuff that they use, like it probably has honey like as one of the ingredients.
Sure.
Like, so it's
Sure.
like massage oils and whatever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was, we got there and they were like, okay, so we're going to be using local honey. And they were like, and it's going to hurt. And we
Huh?
were like,
What?
okay.
Are they bringing out the bees too?
So then I laid down on my stomach and they drizzled hot honey on my back.
Oh.
And they just started,
Oh.
and it's the
He's making a hand motion right now,
so
massaging a back.
it's like the opposite of, because oil in a massage, I see the value of it because
Yeah,
the
dude.
hands slip over the body
Oh my
and sort of,
God.
it's very calming and relaxing.
no, they were like maximum
The
friction.
honey, it's maximum
Oh
friction.
my God.
So it was really an uncomfortable experience.
Yeah.
And at some point during it, I was like, this would be Ryan Bergara's worst nightmare.
Oh, dude, I would probably have a panic attack.
And at a certain point, so they were doing the thing where they were like, it was just like it felt like it was ripping my skin as they were moving their hands along it.
Because I already have anxiety when a masseuse asks me, is that too much pressure?
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't want to like insult them. So I'm always like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Just struggling through it.
Well, in this, like, there was also like the pressure was not existent. They were just sort of like pulling my skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, they switched to a thing where they would like press their hands down and go like,
Oh, God. That's disgusting,
like,
dude.
and then they started like
Oh,
pinching
man.
all of the honey. And Sarah said as she was getting it, she was like, "Oh, Shane," because we were in this room next to each, like kind of at opposite ends of the room as this was going on. And also, I don't think they'll ever hear this, so I don't the woman who was doing it, I had my face down in the hole. I don't know if she had like a big salami sandwich or something beforehand, but she just kept burping.
Oh.
And I just kept smelling the salami.
Yo, dude, that's disgusting, bro.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm thinking of as the worst part of this massage?
What?
When it's over and you have to put your shirt back on.
Well, so then
Yeah, that I've been.
so
thinking
at
about
least
that.
the back half of the massage. So then they basically like wiped you down and did oil. And the oil, that was fine. That was like, okay, this is a classic massage. This
Yeah.
feels better. I'm glad this is the second half of the massage, because if it started with the oil and then moved to the honey, it would have been a bad conclusion. But so that was good. But then at the end they're like, okay, you can turn over now. And they put towels over our bodies and then over our heads, so we were swaddled like babies. And they raised both of our chairs up, and Sarah and I were facing each other. They just raised our chairs up, and we were both wrapped up like two little babies. It was very fun.
That's your fantasy, to be a big baby.
No, to be clear, I don't think my fantasy is to be a big baby.
Always making noise, knowing know what to do. Isn't that what's your face?
Like a baby, always making noise, don't know what to do.
That's from Avatar.
That's Natiri from Avatar.
I thought it was Schwarzenegger, and then when you did it, I thought it was Herzog. But
Oh,
then-
that's-
you did sound kind of
interesting.
Herzog-y.
Like a big baby, always making noise, don't know what to do.
That's pretty good.
that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
No, I don't. No, I want to be. You and I have talked about how it would be nice to have a giant human, almost like how Krang on the Ninja Turtles
Yeah,
had a
carry
big
us.
bond. Yeah, well, we want a giant human to carry us around.
And like, what is the
It's,
actual sarang? Is it what is it called?
Sarang or a papoose?
Like
some
it's
kind.
papoose,
yeah,
yeah.
papoose. There you go.
Yeah.
Just imagining right now Juan driving his car.
He's like, okay.
Going, what did you want to be when you grow
I want to be
baby's the
carried.
answer.
I want to be a baby again, Juan.
Also, Juan, I gotta say, my worst massage, other than the dog licking
Juan
my
didn't
feet.
ask about that.
No, I gotta tell Juan.
No,
because
Juan, you gotta know.
I
We
gotta
went
tell you
from a triple decker honey banana sandwich to Shane's honey massage.
It would
and,
be cool.
And now we're going to.
Well, the thing is, Juan, you need to know this, because if you don't know if your feet are ticklish, do not go get a foot massage. I was shopping with my parents like a couple months ago, and there was this like little shop that was like, foot massage, and my dad was like, it'd be funny if we got foot massages, and I was like, yeah, I guess that would be funny. And we went in there. And-
I would. The one time that we had that massage and they touched my feet, I have such ticklish feet.
I
was
did
like,
not realize how ticklish my feet
I was
were.
like, do not touch.
Everyone in this place was serene. They were like asleep, getting their feet
I
massaged.
just kick a little bit. And
I
they
was
stop.
trying so hard not to laugh, because it was like it was awful. It was
Yeah.
like torture
Yeah,
trying
it's
not
no
to
good.
laugh.
What did you want to be?
No.
Wait, you
Well,
grew
real
up-
quick,
Oh
real
my
quick though about sandwiches. The one thing that I think would be fun, and maybe people have explored this, but when you do the massage at a place where they don't put you on the ground and let a dog lick your feet,
Yeah.
is they put you at that table with a hole in it for your face.
So you can breathe.
I want some like chips and guac or something,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Or just like a drink on the ground with a really long straw.
straw,
that I
or
could
like
sip.
Or what if there's like a nerd's rope that's like
That's kind of good. But
You
then
know.
I would be worried it would fall. I like the
maybe
straw.
they could have it swinging, you know?
Yeah.
You get a bite every now and then, or like just something.
Like a
Yeah.
glass of lemonade would be nice.
Some queso.
I don't know about the queso. That
Queso
gets
through
kinda-
a straw.
I'm not drinking queso through a straw, man. That's
You're
crazy.
just, you're just one of the people on Wally.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck?
Well, I'm just thinking of ways they could plus up the experience.
I'm down for the drinking a long straw.
Yeah.
Like if I had like a painkiller down there,
That
or
could be a
something, or like
thing.
a Bahama Mama.
You know, sometimes they do those hot stone massages. That would be in line with what you like. You could do a nice cold drink.
That's
hot
right.
stones on
On
the
my
back.
tie down below, and on my back, I got some hot stones.
Yeah.
No hot honey though. No.
No, that was no good. Okay. Steven, what did you want to be when you grew up?
This is question 3 or 2.
This is question 3 and the last one, as it were.
As a kid, I've shared to you
Yeah, it goes in
tidbits
line
of
with
my
the-
childhood.
Were you just preoccupied with like, I need to be a
I
successful
need
child?
to be a good at homework and good at grades and do my piano and whatever, and like that was what I wanted to be. I wanted to just be successful at the things that were presented in front of me.
But no, like dream to be like like Street Fighter or something like that. Something crazy.
I never did, and like I realize now, like only only much later in life did my personality start to develop and like my desires grow. Like I didn't really have like any weird hobbies as a kid. So
You were a studious child.
very, very focused on school.
I have a
What did you do
question.
for fun when you were a kid?
Yeah, I want to. Do you ever pretend? Have you ever pretended? This is a genuine question.
Pretend,
Like, do you pretend?
Did you pretend?
Sometimes I'll pretend in the now.
like
I'll be like, oh,
sometimes you'll pretend?
why not?
What do you pretend?
My car is a spaceship.
Oh, dude, I do. Like sometimes when I'm in the pool, I'll like kind of like put my hands on the wall of the pool and I'll pretend I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's so
yeah,
fun.
Sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes I'm talking to a command center when I'm opening the gate, parking in my garage.
Well, I'm going to start
Do you
doing
ever use the
these.
Force when you go into like a grocery store?
Yes.
So I recently watched the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood documentary on Netflix, and he has like the entire make-believe world. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show.
All those freaky puppets.
Yeah, scary.
Freaky puppets.
Friday.
And I guess like as a kid, I never understood that. I don't know. I think my childhood was just so focused on doing work that I didn't connect with all of that pretend stuff.
Yeah.
Until later in life.
But did you play games? Like, did you have like things you like? You know,
I would play games that are grounded in reality, I suppose. Yeah.
Like hoop and stick.
So like I guess the most creative thing that we did, like as a, and this is my brother who got me into this, but we would watch Dragon Ball Z.
That's fun.
and then we created like cards and would like battle the cards and stuff.
Dude, Dragon Ball Z.
I guess I was like, I want to be like my dad, which was he was an engineer. So
Well, that's yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
did that crystallize in like high school when you were like started?
it
to think
never
about college?
crystallized. I hated it. I suppressed the hate that I had for engineering my entire life. This is how I grew up. Like I went through college
Well, I mean,
with an engineering degree.
yeah.
Went to go work in engineering, and then only to somebody calling us right now?
We're getting a phone call right now.
We pick it up. We gotta pick it up.
We got to pick this up. We have to pick this up.
Hello?
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 Who's calling, please?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Is this real?
Hi. How's
Hi.
it going?
You're actually the first person to call us while we're recording our podcast.
Are you being serious?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're being serious right now.
We were recording the podcast, and you
No
called in
way.
in the middle of it.
And he's not saying that in
How
like a rude
exciting.
way where like you interrupted our podcast recording.
We're recording this call right now. Just
Yes, we.
legally,
Is it okay for us
okay for us?
to record this call?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so tell us your name, and you can ask your question or leave your voicemail live with us right here.
Okay, my name is Audrey.
Hey, Audrey,
Hello.
how you doing?
How's it going, Audrey?
I'm doing great. Amazing. My heart is beating so fast.
Oh, you're fine. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Odessa, Texas.
Oh,
Hey.
cool.
We spent a lot of time in Texas.
We spend
Yes.
a lot of time in Texas.
Seen.
Delicious.
What's
how
going
are
on
you?
today? We're
How are
doing
you
good.
guys?
We're recording the podcast. It's a Monday morning.
That's right.
I was watching, and then y'all, mentioned the number, and I was like, well, I'm going to call.
Wow.
Glad you did. You got a question for
Yeah.
us today?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I didn't even think of, I left a voicemail, but
Oh, you did. Okay.
I did, yeah. But I mean, I'll just tell you guys, I don't really have a question, but I love y'all. I love watching y'all's channel. I watch it all the time, every day, all day.
Well, thank you.
Just
How's the heat down in there in Texas right now?
horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in the country
That's pretty
sweating.
much it.
But honestly, I'm nervous right now too. This is our first like on camera call that
Are
we've
you?
gotten. This is great. I mean, this is exhilarating.
This is so amazing.
Yeah, Audrey.
Yeah, me too.
This is Matt. This is going to be in the next episode on Monday, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited too.
Can I say something? I love how Matt always fact checks y'all in the background.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
we
much.
love that too. And in fact, he just fact checked himself because he told us that apples contain caffeine.
Yeah,
I asked.
which was
Oh,
yeah, he
okay.
asked.
I asked.
Yeah, so
How else do you learn?
even though we can't see him, it's great to hear his voice.
Yeah,
you.
we agree.
How much did he pay you to say that, Audrey?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Well, thanks for calling. Stay cool down there. And thanks for listening and watching.
Thank you. Thank you for talking to me.
Have a great week.
You too.
All right,
Bye.
later, Audrey.
See you later. Thanks. Bye. That was thrilling.
Wow, that was
What a
fun.
wonderful
That was genuinely thrilling.
first on-air call.
I want to make it very clear that when that call came in, Matt Rial's face was both shock, panic, and excitement because he didn't realize that someone could call mid-show and that it would come through on our headsets.
Yeah. No, I knew that.
Did you know that would possibly happen?
Yeah. I just didn't think it would ring.
That was crazy because we all heard. Oh, you all heard our reaction to the ringtone, which is incredible. I can't believe that just happened. That was so fun.
That was exciting.
What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about just the idea that there are a bunch of folks, actually the large majority of folks in the world do practical jobs and they go to work to earn money so that they can have fun in their normal life, which is, or their personal life rather. And that's kind of actually what the norm. We're fairly lucky that we get to do something silly like this.
And this goes back to the documentary I was watching about that. The thing that Fred says in the show is that one of the best things you can do as a parent is love your work in front of your child. And how, and I think that was very true for me, actually. I saw that my father was very passionate about his job and he worked really hard and he loved every moment of it. And I think
And then you became an engineer and we're like, this sucks.
This is not what I thought was going to happen. I thought I would love it.
Talk about false advertising, Dad.
Extremely. But the thing I had on to was like, oh, I want a job that I love, that I want to go into work every single day. And it's my dad, I think he just thought anybody could love his job because he was like, no, just give it a few years. You'll love it eventually. Like
Well, his only experience is his experience.
That's how my dad feels about dentistry.
Yeah.
Well, you got your brother.
Did he say that to you?
He loves dentistry.
Yeah. Which I'm sure rubbed off on you.
No.
No, the love for his
Brian's not a dentist.
I'm going to make that clear. I am not a dentist.
I am not a dentist.
No, I guess maybe
Richard
that was...
fixing teeth.
Richard fixing teeth. Now, come on.
That's pretty good. No, that, I guess, yeah, you're right. The passion for loving what you do did rub off on me in that sense. But when did you want to become a YouTuber? That's probably because, like, the question was, when you were, 3 to high school, right?
Middle school to high school.
Middle school to high school?
Yeah, that didn't happen until after college.
I see.
Pretty crazy.
Were you suppressing a creative urge?
I think it was like the environment around me wasn't conducive to creativity, whether it was my family life or my friends or my, school life, my desires. So yeah, and I really didn't feel like it. Moving to LA, and I'm sure you maybe have this same experience, like coming to a
town
place
full of Peter Pan people.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful place.
It is.
It is cool.
It feels like home.
I've often talked about it's neat. I always realize this when I go back to Chicago and everybody's just talking about the Bears and sports all the time.
Doubles.
It's pretty nuts when you're in LA how much people talk about movies and television.
It's so good. It's like our sporting
and
team.
as a kid who, like, me and my brother just talked about movies and TV all the time. It's fun to be surrounded by.
You know what's crazy? It's a town where people predominantly talk about movies and TV, and yet the most talked about the sporting team in the world is probably the Lakers, or they're at least in the top 5.
Yeah. That's funny.
No bias, of course.
Hey, go LA, baby.
Considering how basketball isn't even one of the biggest sports in the world.
What did you want to? Ryan? What did you want?
Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
I actually know this pretty factually
In 3
because
words or less.
because I had a book. There was this Dr. Seuss book that was called The Book About Me, and it was like a book where like they had like the cover had like a little rectangle that was missing, and you put your actual picture in it, so it looked like you were part of the book. Anyways, it had a bunch of questions it would ask you.
I think I had one of those too.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe the same one.
It would ask you questions how to describe yourself, like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite sport, all that stuff. And then one of them was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I could actually get my mom to send me this because she sent it to me before, and I wrote, I think I was 5, and I wrote Auntie Anne's pretzel roller.
Hey,
And I remember I would go to the mall and I would
I
watch
love
these.
it
those
when
pretzels are
kids
goated.
like get enamored with some fucking like job, and they're
on-
like, I want to do that.
I looked pretty fucking sweet. I would go to the mall and I would watch them play with that dough in front of that window, and it would
Yeah.
glow. It was a glow.
But
and
to
I
be
would
clear,
like-
they're not playing with that dough.
Well, in my mind, I was like, God damn, they're playing with that dough, and I just got Play-Doh. I
Yeah.
want the actual dough.
Yeah.
And it was great. And those pretzels are so fucking juicy. Even to this day, when I see an Auntie Anne's, I am stoked. And
Yeah.
the brand loyalty I have in my brain. Like if there was a Wetzel's Pretzels next to an Auntie Anne's, I'm going to Auntie Anne's every
That's
time.
why every now and then we get so excited when on our travels we have a layover in Charlotte.
That's right, because there's an Auntie Anne's there, dude. Right next to the rocking chairs. Oh,
That airport was the source of great misery and woe the
Yeah.
last time we were there, because
Yeah.
we had that very tight layover where we were
that's correct.
hauling ass
We were
through that
hauling
airport.
ass.
But that they've got great food selection.
We
there.
barely made our connecting flight, and I remember one of the things I was the most angry about
was running past the
And
Auntie
it
Anne's.
was. I was in the seat in the airplane, and we actually were a little delayed. And I was like, "Bro, I could have got a fucking
Yeah.
pretzel. I could have got a sour and cream and onion."
Yeah.
But that was what I wrote. And then later it was I wanted to be in the NBA, and then later I wanted to be a director.
Yeah. I think for me, it was just, I think there were a lot of different things. It was always something creative. I was like, I really liked art class. So I was like, oh, maybe I'd like to be an art teacher. And then it was like, at some point I got really into the Far Side,
Oh, yes, yeah.
Gary Larson
Yeah.
comics. And I remember,
I thought you were talking about the hip hop group for a second.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
did not
no.
think he was thinking.
yeah, I was like, whoa, that's
Matt
weird.
did the math on that one. And at some point I remember telling a teacher, like, I want to be like Gary Larson and do little comics when I grow up.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, his comics are kind of rude. And I was
Oh my
like,
God.
That's
Oh.
something you tell a kid, sure.
yeah, it was kind of turned off by that. And then by the time I got to college, like I said, I was like, I had it in the back of my head because throughout high school, I always did a lot of like editing and film projects. And I was like, that's something I'd like to do, but it feels kind of selfish to go to college for that. So I'll go for communications. And then after a year or two of very basic gen ed stuff and like more businessy kind of things, I was like,
Why did that guidance counselor
What?
tell you that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
They did that. That happens a lot.
Do you know a
Which
guidance
is crazy.
that
counselor?
wasn't even a
told-
guidance counselor. That was like one of my teachers in like fourth grade.
Oh, I was going to say a guidance counselor told Kobe that he shouldn't pursue professional basketball. It's too much of a pipe dream. He should do something more realistic.
That's funny.
That happens all the time.
I
To
think
be fair to that, NBA athletes, that is a very, very, it's a low percentage of getting into the NBA.
That's true, but I don't know. You don't think you tell that to a kid.
I think I've told this maybe on the podcast before, but at some point in high school, and this came back to me recently because it was shocking to me. But my high school guidance counselor, who was this old guy, I don't know if he's with us anymore. His name was Mr. Bitlinski. He was very old.
That sounds like a guy
Mr.
who was
Mr.
born old.
Bitlinski. And he had just a very gravelly voice.
born like Benjamin Button.
And at some point in high school, we did like one of those like tests where it was like, you talk about your interests and fill out a bunch of stuff. And it sort of then a personality test essentially where they're like, these are the professions you might be interested in. And I remember sitting down with him to like go over the results. And he was like, oh, it says here that you could, you would be a good juggler or a puppeteer.
Wow.
And I remember like coming home and telling my mom that, and we had a good laugh about it. And there were like other things on there. It was like something creative, whatever.
Yeah.
And we laughed about how I'd be a mime or a puppeteer or
You sure he
something.
didn't write Juggalo?
And then what's that?
You sure he didn't say Juggalo?
He suggesting I get very into ICP?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that what you're asking?
I think you'd be a good good member of the posse.
But yeah, at some point in the past couple of years, that memory came back to me, and I was like, he fucking called it.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
He did.
Well, thank you for this episode.
Thank you for this episode, everyone.
Whoever sent in the questions, thank you guys for sending those in. And also,
Thanks
thank
to
you-
Audrey.
Yeah, I was about to say a special thank you to you, Audrey, for calling in the middle of the show. That was thrilling.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Well timed.
Is that a thing that we'll commit to if we're
If you happen to call while we're recording, we will answer.
We will answer.
And we'd be happy to talk.
If
Once again, if you'd like to email us, that's AskWatcherPods@gmail.com. You could also send us a video there if you'd like. Or you can call us at
818 275-4585.
4585. Beautiful. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you're there. Subscribe if you haven't. Rate us if you haven't. And we'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.